Maker kicked off which 2K TV event this season? Was it the 2K TV Challenge, 2K TV My Team Collection, 2K TV Hey Guys Awards, or 2K TV WoW Top Plays?
Ronnie, post his little behind up. What do you got him by 6 inches? Take him down to the block. What are you pulling up from 12 for? I just told you to put him back. Oh God, you're gonna catch more of this L. Hey, Jimmy, right in your mouth.
It's the 2KMC, here to tip off the 2K TV WoW Top Play of the Year playoffs.
Thonmaker is our first pick for the 2K TV My Team Collection.
There it is, maybe the most famous building in all of Texas. It's the Alamo, of course, here in San Antonio. The Spurs play. And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the side.
Well, Kevin, Kawhi Leonard has been a great defender from day one, but he has developed into an elite offensive player as well.
And they need him to be that way, D.A. Thank you, especially after Tim Duncan's retirement and Manu and TP getting older. This is Kawhi's team now, for sure. And as we get this far into the season, Clark, we start to hear trade rumors float around. Did you ever hear your name floated in trade talks?
You know, I didn't pay a lot of attention to news reports of the media. I would only occasionally read the paper, but there was a year, my second year in the league, where my name came up with Philadelphia possibly, but it was short-lived and I didn't give it a lot of time or attention.
Now we'll look at Dallas's starting lineup. Smith Jr. runs the point with Matthews at his side. They're the backcourt. Barnes at the 3 with Dirk at the 4. And it's Noel in at the 5. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That's his first foul. Smith with it. Barnes outside. And stolen by Murray. Outside Gasol. Kicks it out to Leonard. Takes a 3. And that's collected by Nowitzki. Smith outside. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. So many great point guards in this year's draft. Greg, what stands out to you about North Carolina State's Dennis Smith?
Well, I think he's the best athlete of them all. A terror off the bounce, great toughness, and he's drawn some comparison to Stevie Francis when you talk about his bounce and physicality.
Here's Aldridge, rejected by Nowitzki.
Love how Nowitzki uses his long arms there on defense, solid at coming up with blocks.
Aldridge against Nowitzki. They shoot again. That shot misses.
Loved how they guarded that layup. Didn't make it easy, which I think is why he missed it.
Rudy Gay's checked in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Spurs on defense. 4-point game. Coming into this having not to win against the Rockets in their last game.
Playing on the road, always a challenge, but it becomes a heck of a lot easier when you can shoot the three ball the way they did.
And Greg, they were shooting that thing with confidence, boy. Every time they got a clean look from deep, the trigger was pulled. Wow.
Smith outside. Pass to Matthews. Now the dish to Noel. Rejected by Gasol.
And really, Gasol does an incredible job getting his hands up in the air, which results in a ton of rejection.
Here's Gay, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
And when you watch Rudy Gay out there on the court, you see just why he's always been a solid scorer in our league. I mean, any situation, any type of offense, he can find a way to get points, and really one of the more underrated players we have in our league.
And DeJounte Murray gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
And still early in the period, and they're only one foul away from being over the limit.
Smith outside. Passes it to Barnes. Shoots from 12.
And throughout his career, Gasol has continued to build upon his reputation as a lockdown defender. He gives his all on that end of the floor.
Barnes with it. Leonard picks him up. And the shot falls short this time. And with Rudy Gay, scoring, Greg, has never been a problem for him. Has pretty much had the same level of production his entire career.
Yeah, and if you say that about some players, it's considered an insult, but it's a good thing for Gay. Usually will shoot in the mid-40s for this field goal percentage and solid at that small forward position. Also a great ISO game.
Hey, you've always got to know where Nowitzki is. I mean, even in the open floor, he's got a keen sense of finding open spots.
Here's Leonard, rejected by Nowitzki. Barnes outside. He dishes it to Smith. There's a screen by Noel. Smith kicks to Matthews. 6 to shoot. From downtown. A rebound by the Spurs. Last time they met was in Dallas, where they beat the Mavericks.
And their last matchup was a nail-biter, but they hung on, and in part it was because of their rebounding.
That was the definitive difference. I mean, it came down to the final seconds, but the tough work on the glass they did carried the day.
There's a good screen. There's a screen by Noel for the three, and Matthews gets it to go in on the assist by Smith. Matthews has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Out to the right wing. Murray, the pass to Leonard. Gay, a screen on Nowitzki. Here's Leonard. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
Yeah, and from mid-range, Leonard's jump shot is money. It doesn't matter if it's off the dribble or catch and shoot. He never loses his touch.
And Smith gets double-teamed. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
And the foul on Dennis Smith Jr. That's his first foul. A different look now for San Antonio. Ano Ginobili's checked in for Green. And Parker subbed in for DeJounte Murray. Gasol kicks to Gay. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Before his injury, Rudy Gay had made some strides on the defensive end. In general, Greg, he doesn't get enough credit sometimes for his impact on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Gay has always been a great ball hawk. I mean, he's got long arms to pick off lazy passes. He gets a good amount of blocks for a wing player as well. Very much so underrated when you talk about his defense.
And Matthews kicks to Nowitzki. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
Kev, you got to wrap him up right there if you're going to try to keep Nowitzki from scoring. He's just so big and Smart and skilled. You got to wrap him up. Don't let his arms get up.
Laverne, he's checked in for the Spurs. And then for Dallas, Powell, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. Barea comes in for Wesley Matthews. And Farrell subbed in for Smith. Kicks it out to Ginobili. Once again off the mark by San Antonio.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
Yeah, pounding it inside once again. They have taken over this game physically.
Schooling them right now. Taking them to the woodshed. Super aggressive and owning the paint.
Anderson, he's checked in for San Antonio. Spurs trail by 10. Here's Parker. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. That one goes. Count it.
And when you give Parker room to work his magic down inside, he knows how to finish with style.
Farrell passes to Powell. And Parker comes with the help. Ginobili against Barea. Nowitzki a screen. Barea with a wide open look and the wing jumper offline. Gay in the corner. Parker outside. Back to Gay. Lets it go with the three. Mavericks with the rebound. Nowitzki's got his third rebound on the night. Barnes kicks to Farrell. Back to Barnes. They set the pick. Lets it go with a three. Barnes with another miss.
I think that's got to affect your mental game. I mean, missing open shots like that, unacceptable, and it'll probably mess with your head a little bit too.
The kick out to Anderson. And Ginobili wide open. He shoots. Manu Ginobili on the wing. They get it back. Parker out. Side. Anderson with the screen for Parker. Kicks it out to Ginobili. They shoot again. And it's sent back by Nowitzki.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear. They're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for Dallas.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And the intensity is carried over into their ability to get out in passing lanes and really be disruptive in terms of their opponent's offense.
And the shot goes in.
Really imperative that you put a body on Nowitzki. I mean, he's just too big and talented close to the rim.
And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for the Spurs.
And they had a good split between their work in the paint and their three-point shooting. If the triple wasn't there for them on any given night, they were able to come inside and do some damage down low.
17-foot shot on the way. And good as it rattles through the hoop. And the Mavericks lead by 14.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Spurs making a switch here. Mills is checked in, and Dallas also making a switch. Finney-Smith's checked in. Once again off the mark by San Antonio.
In the Spurs last season, how about setting the all-time record for consecutive winning seasons with 20? This is a group that's won 50 or more games in every one of those seasons except the strike-shortened one in '99.
Kicks it out to Gay. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. The three from Mills, and the three ball is good. Mills has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three. Barea kicks to Finney-Smith. Gay comes over with a double team. Outside for Barea. Floats one up. That one misses. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. And Greg, for the Spurs, they're so competitive. It's inevitable. They just win year after year.
Yeah, but that big three of Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili, the all-time winningest trio in the history of our league, had a lot to do with it. And as that era comes to an end, they're doing a terrific job of just picking up new star talent without skipping a beat.
Unfortunately, his shot has been everywhere, all over the place. Can't buy a basket. However, his teammates got him covered.
And Laverne gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. The Mavericks shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. First free throw is good.
The length and mobility of Powell is really impressive. He's a solid big guy who I think continues just to get better at both ends.
It's Anderson with the drive. Mavericks with the rebound. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
Well, listen, I've seen worse performances offensively, but no doubt that group was inconsistent.
For sure. Agree with you there. They just didn't have it. Seemed like they were a step behind and out of sync.
Good on the second free throw.
Man, you got to appreciate the overall game of Barnes. He's efficient as a scorer and also works hard at the defensive end.
Laverne dishes to Ginobili. Anderson, and it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. Just 4 seconds left in the first. Nailed from three-point land. And so it's Dallas in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. Right back after this break. And Dirk Nowitzki steadily climbing the all-time scoring rankings. He talked about the remarkable journey of his long and illustrious career.
When I first got here, my first year was so tough that I didn't really know that.
Dirk has proven himself through the test of time. As tough as it may have been back in his rookie year, he overcame those obstacles to become this elite NBA player destined for the Hall of Fame.
And people do talk about players being a Dirk Nowitzki type. You're right about that. And that's a type any team would like to have. One of the greatest power forwards in the NBA's history.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And what do you think, guys, about Dallas here in this one?
I mean, an interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnover.
Just jumped all over him, Greg. I mean, pounced on him, using their length and quickness to come away with those steals.
Mills and Manu at the guards. Aldridge out there with Anderson. And it's Laverne in at the 5 down low. So that's who San Antonio starts the second with. Noel's checked in for the Mavericks. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kawhi Leonard has become a go-to scorer, but his focus still starts at the defensive end. He said, my mindset is the same every game. Whoever I'm playing against, I go in and try to stop their best scorer and then try to get myself going on the offensive end. Kevin?
And David, that's what you get with Kawhi. Mr. Consistency, one of the best two-way players in the game. Curry against Ginobili. Down to 5 on the shot clock, and they pick up 2. Curry's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for Dallas.
Oof, that is a tough shot.
Here's Mills. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line. And head coach Rick Carlisle approaching a decade with the Dallas Mavericks, and he doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Yeah, and that's really remarkable in a profession marked by turnover. He's pretty much anchored in there. The Mavs organization smart enough to recognize they've got one of the best in the business in the NBA, but I would even say one of the best coaches in all of pro sports.
And Gasol comes to help. Back to Noel. Dallas needs to get off a shot. For 3, Smith. Marcus Aldridge grabs the miss. Aldridge has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Mills passes to Aldridge. From downtown, Mills can't hit.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
And Matthews kicks to Smith. Here's a screen by Noel. Pass to Finney-Smith. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got his third assist on the night.
Yeah, you got to appreciate the mindset of Smith. Solid at running the offense and finding his teammates who are open. And now let's take a moment to check out the stats for Gasol. He's really stood out for them over the past month. He's right around 9 points a night, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. And you can't downplay the importance of good size off the bench.
Space invader, a big guy who simply holds his ground and makes opponents work around him. That's good stuff.
Curry with it. Leonard picks him up. Matthews, no good. Spurs trail by 11. Leonard dishes to Aldridge. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. For Dallas, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. Matthews passes to Smith. The feed now to Noel. Unloads from 13. Basket counts. Noel's got his second bucket tonight.
Really got to admire how confident Noel looks from the mid-range. I mean, squaring up and knocking down these shots consistently.
Smith outside. They get a hand on it. The pass to Leonard. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Dennis Smith.
You know, when he was in high school in California, Kawhi won the state's Mr. Basketball Award. And you look at the list of guys who've won that award over the years, it has a lot of the all-time greats on it.
Murray's checked in for Patty Mills. Green against Curry. Smith outside. Puts up a 3. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge. And a chance here to see our rookie watch. The biggest point-producing freshman over the last 10 games. Dennis Smith, fourth.
Showing flashes of just explosive scoring ability. When called upon, he can put buckets up in a hurry.
Yeah, you know, he's really come into his own over the past couple of weeks. He looks like a veteran out there in terms of his confidence.
Rejected by Gasol.
It's just one of those games for him so far. Nothing seems to be finding the bottom of the net. Tell you what, the defense has to be kicking themselves. Just a step late there, and the shooter made them pay for it.
Murray kicks to Aldridge. Feeds to Green. Outside Leonard. Just 5 to shoot. And the rejection by Noel.
And you can just see Noel's eyes light up when a shooter attempts these shots. He's so forceful and determined in his denials.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force on this run.
The kick out to Aldridge. On target from 13 feet. Aldridge has got his first 2 points of the night. One of the hardest things, Clark, to defend in the league is the pick and roll. What do defenders need to key on when they're defending a pick and roll?
Well, I think a couple of things. One is you want to try to dictate where the pick and roll is going to happen and where you want the ball handler to go. And then there's got to be great communication. The two guys involved in the screen and roll have to be on the same page. There's got to be a lot of talk. And then the 3 guys maybe not involved have to be ready to help their teammates. So communication, a real sense of trying to dictate to that ball handler where you want him to go and what you want to give up, because you can't take away everything when you're defending a good pick and roll combination.
San Antonio calls timeout.
And when you look at Dennis Smith Jr., you aren't blown away by the physicality at first, but he's incredibly gifted for a player his size. Great speed and quickness to blow by defenders.
And the Spurs making a change here. Mills is checked in. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Dallas. Barea comes in for Curry. Here's Barea. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got 5 assists in the game. And with Dennis Smith, it isn't just burst of speed, it's his play in the open floor and Greg running end-to-end, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, he also just jumps and finishes at the rim like a shooting guard. He's only probably 6'2", 6'3", but he gets up in the air like a wing player. He's a lot like Derrick Rose was when he burst on the scene.
And the foul on Dennis Smith Jr. That's his third foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Matthews. And here's Barea. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Warriors in Oakland. The 3 from Barnes. Here's Noel, and Dirk Nowitzki gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. San Antonio's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Here's Leonard. And the rebound goes to Nowitzki.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Here's Noel. Fouled in the act of shooting. A 3-point play chance coming up.
Yeah, that was the third straight high-percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
You know, his performance at the foul line this season might be the first thing he points to as a priority to improve.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Boy, like his intensity, Greg. He's not afraid to take it straight to the rack on the bigger defender, right at it.
Dwight Powell's checked in for Dallas. For the Mavericks, 16 consecutive years of 500 basketball or better. Coming to an end last season, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, it was the beginning of a rebuild. The first time in a long time for the Mavs. And they waived some of their veterans to free up space and court time to further develop those young players. And with how competitive this organization is, you know they'll do everything they can to get back in contention to try to send Dirk out on a high note.
Now here's Mills. Not a lot of room. To the middle. Powell with the steal. And now in transition, it's Barnes. Here we go.
I love that. Yes, indeedy. And the strength of Barnes right there helps him in a big way. I mean, even when he gets hit, he powers his way through it.
This will be his 4th shot at the line in this one. Mills dishes to Green. Off target. From 3-point range. Barnes with it. Now Green defending. A nice shot by Barea.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with the basket coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Barnes kicks to Farrell. Powell with the screen. Farrell passes to Powell, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Aldridge dishes to Mills. Back to Aldridge. Shot to stop the run, and the layup is up and in. Aldridge has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Really active down there, imposing his will and force and seeing his efforts pay off.
And already his third foul. It's got to be time to get him out of there probably until the third quarter.
And Clark, when you look around the league today, is there a player that you watched and think, hey, yeah, that reminds me of how I used to play?
There are a number of guys that come to mind a little bit. Tobias Harris is an outstanding player, terrific young player and young man. Has a game similar to mine in that he's really versatile, does a lot of things well, not super flashy, but very productive. He comes to mind right off the top of my head currently.
Here's Anderson. Goes back up. Ginobili with the 3. finally gets one to fall. He's now 1 for 5 with his first make.
And how about that lefty stroke there from Ginobili? It is a thing of beauty. He is dialed in from deep.
Farrell kicks to Barnes. Tries from 16, and he makes that one. Barnes has got 13 points.
Yeah, he's building off that strong first quarter, Kevin. Rising up and hitting shots with confidence.
That one may be a little beyond his comfort zone, but he made it count. 6 points for Ginobili.
He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
Nowitzki a screen. That's a 2 from Barnes. Barnes with another miss.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Agree with you there, partner, because that screen really freed him up nicely, and that's a shot that if you're a pro, you need to make that one.
Here's Anderson, and it's good on the assist by Parker.
Yeah, the assist by Parker, just brilliant. Really seeing his teammates out there.
Dallas has gone for the three-pointers 7 times here in the second and been successful 3 times. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Nowitzki. Rebounded by the Spurs. Gay's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Kicks it out to Ginobili. And again, it's the Spurs from deep. 7 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Farrell, that's a 2-pointer. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, y'all. Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny the G. Dallas has the edge here at halftime. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, some perspective, please.
I love the way they're getting after it in the paint. Moving bodies, attacking the rim, scoring at will. Sometimes teams try to hurt you with the 3-ball. They went right.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third.
We welcome you back to San Antonio. Always so much to do along the Riverwalk, which this bridge spans, such a vibrant part of the city. And San Antonio shooting terribly up to this point, just 30%. Some ramshackle offense play there. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the floor for Dallas, Matthews and Barnes, they're the wings. Dirk is the 4, with Noel manning the middle. And it's Smith in at the 1 spot. Matthews, no one around him. No good on the triple.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Here's the screen. Mills passes to Gay. And he's good on the 3-ball. Gay's got the first field goal of the second half for the Spurs. Mavericks leading by 20. Smith dishes to Barnes. And the layup's good off the glass. Barnes has got 15 points.
Boy, the size and quick release Barnes has helps him inside. I mean, he feels very comfortable shooting from here.
Gay kicks to Laverne. Mills in the corner. That 3 off the mark.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Barnes passes to Matthews. Ginobili with the steal. Anderson against Nowitzki. Dishes it to Ginobili. Off target from outside.
Solid rebound there, and with the score. like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've got to put forth more effort.
And Dirk Nowitzki, what a career. 6th all-time in NBA scoring.
This season, he'll have a chance to pass the great Wilt Chamberlain for 5th on the list. And when you talk about points scored with a single team, well, he's 2nd only to Kobe Bryant, the Mamba. Can't give up these looks. I mean, the defense has to be more aggressive guarding the perimeter.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Kevin, the Spurs' Greg Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a clear picture of what's demanded, show care, understand what makes them tick. If that doesn't get through, you get rid of them. Kevin?
And the military background of Popovich plays a part in this way of thinking, David. It's why the Spurs have been so successful for so many years. Davis Bertans checks in for the Spurs. Drills the three-pointer. 12 points for Rudy Gay.
And Gay is quick at getting his shot off. Can't give this guy any separation, even as the pass is coming his way.
Here's Smith, rejected by Ginobili. But they recover it. He kicks to Anderson. Second chance shot. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili. Ginobili's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Smith kicks to Barnes. Back to Smith. There's the pick. Outside Matthews. 6 on the shot clock. Nowitzki a screen. Matthews with it. Picked up by Ginobili. Matthews no good.
Well, it's just been one of those kind of games for him.
Kicks it out to Ginobili. Manu Ginobili on the wing. That doesn't go either by Ginobili.
That's unacceptable shot selection there, Kevin. I mean, why on earth did he think that was a good look?
Matthews dishes to Noel. Got it. Good job in the low post. Noel's got 9 points.
Hey, just give Noel the rock in the post, and he knows what to do from there. Excellent presence in the low post.
Anderson against Smith. And Anderson kicks to Ginobili. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Well, Clark, you've been in the booth for so long, but I have to ask, have you ever toyed with the idea of coaching or working in some team's front office? I know you did briefly for the Pacers.
Yeah, I did, and I enjoyed it. I was working in player relations, player development with our guys off the court, and loved it. But it just wasn't something I could sustain at this season in my life. Not interested in coaching. I've never really been, because my career path went towards broadcasting right after I got done playing, and I paid my dues and have grown in this profession. And I would want to do the same thing in coaching, and I just don't have enough time in front of me to do that. So I'm happy to be around the game in this capacity. Coaching never lets up. I get an off season as a broadcaster.
Yes. Mavericks making a switch here. Farrell's checked in. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And here is the shot chart as we see how things are going for Barnes.
What a display we've seen from him so far. Every half open look they've gotten, they've knocked down and showed no signs of letting up. Right now, they are in the driver's seat. As long as they can keep their rhythm on offense, they'll just steamroll this team the rest of the way.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Gasol comes in for Laverne. And it's Green in for Manu Ginobili. Matthews against Gay. Here's Noel. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
A chance here to take a look at where the Mavericks rank in the NBA currently.
And you talk about their points off turnovers. A great combination of offense and defense. Really a blitzing style on both ends of the floor.
Spurs trail by 19. They kick it out to Green. And here's Gay outside. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got rebound number 8 now on the night. And Curry has it in the corner. It's hauled in by Gay. Gay's got 4 rebounds in this game. And Anderson has it in the corner. Back to Gay. Kicks to Gasol. Spurs working the ball around now. Here's Farrell. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Hits the three-point bomb. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Mavericks.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
He feeds it to Curry. There's the pick. Pass to Finney-Smith. Noel dishes to Matthews. Goes up on the wing. And the shot no good, a bit short. Spurs trail by 20. Anderson outside. And he uses the glass on the layup. Anderson's got 10 points in just the second half.
No matter what the score is, his attitude has been perfect. I love his disposition. He has stayed in attack mode.
Curry passes to Matthews. Back to Curry. He's now made half of those 10 shots in the game. That's his 5th basket.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Here's Anderson. Banked in off the glass. Anderson's got 12 now in this quarter.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. And Wes Matthews, known as a two-way player. Clark, which aspects stands out to you the most? His offense or his defensive game?
Well, I think it's his offensive game from the standpoint of making the three-point shot. He's become a laser out there, and defensively very competitive, takes the challenge. He's rugged and tough and plays with the edge of a guy who wasn't drafted. Offensively, he can post you up a little bit too.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Well, Marcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Davis Bertans, and it's Leonard in for Green.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
Farrell kicks to Barea. Over Gay. Barea, no good. Spurs trail by 16. The dish to Gay. The kick out to Aldridge. Aldridge can't get that one to fall. Dallas has gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. And here is Barea outside. Another miss by Barea.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
You're exactly right. Patrolling the perimeter well and didn't allow the shooter to get off a clean look. That's what you would call A-plus defense.
There's a screen by Noel. They get it back. And stolen by Gay. And now the fast break Anderson with the ball. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
And let's take a look now at Kawhi Leonard's numbers. Just an incredible month of basketball. Averaging 22 points per, 7 rebounds, and almost 2.5 steals. And you look at his gaudy steal numbers defensively, he makes his presence felt on every possession.
And you know what I like about it, Greg, is he gets great position and uses those quick, strong mitts of his to rip the ball out of there.
And the Mavericks looking to go young now around Nowitzki. Unsurprisingly, they've already found some intriguing young prospects.
Here's Barea, a picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good. Barea's got 6 points.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Curry wide open. Good, and it's Perea who picks up the assist. He's got 14. And for the Mavericks, you look at their young guys, a lot of athleticism, and Greg, an upside already on the roster.
And Mavs fans have to be pleased with what they've done so far. I mean, especially with the selection of Dennis Smith in the draft, who can be a special player at that point guard position. They're making smart moves to kind of revamp this roster.
Fires it up. And another basket for Dallas.
Really in a good position thanks to the accuracy from beyond.
Yeah, you got that right. I mean, you got it real right. They are lighting it up from beyond the arc this half.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
That one is off.
Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here. In the second.
Murray's checked in for the Spurs. Parker comes in for Pau Gasol. Then for the Mavericks, Nowitzki comes in for Noel. And it's Harrison Barnes in for Curry. Such a wide open look. And the Mavericks lead by 21.
And they've just been so comfortable at both ends of the floor. I mean, you'd almost think they're playing at home.
Yeah, and the confidence really at a high level. Very impressive. They feel like this game is theirs, dominating right now.
Leonard with the bucket.
Leonard has really become so good at catching and firing. I mean, he doesn't allow the defense any time to alter his shot.
Nowitzki a screen. On the wing, Barnes. Leonard with the steal. For three, Murray, and that's not going to go. And so it's the Dallas Mavericks with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. And they've created a bunch of turnovers with that terrific D. Right back after this break. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Greg Popovich.
Nobody holds the ball, not even 1,001. You catch it, it's a shot, it's a drive or pass, whatever you got.
Specific instructions from Greg Popovich. If you don't have a clean look, don't have an open lane, move the ball.
Yeah, and the key is fast decision-making, and that takes great recognition from all five guys in terms of communication. That's really what we... call chemistry.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. We've got Kawhi Leonard, Aldridge out there with Anderson. Then there's Murray, and it's Parker in at the point. That's the San Antonio 5. Pau Gasol has checked in for Tony Parker. And Kawhi Leonard, the only player other than Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon to be an all-star starter. Greg win the Defensive Player of the Year and win a Finals MVP award.
And Kevin, I think it's fair to say that's some lofty company to be in. You're worried with the retirement of Tim Duncan. Would the Spurs go through a lull? They found another two-way superstar to kind of build their team around, much in the same in terms of mannerisms as a Tim Duncan.
Murray dishes to Gasol. Anderson outside. Left side, Leonard. The kick out to Anderson. Clock at 6. And they will call over the back on the play.
Yeah, good box out. Keeps him shielded off and then draws the over-the-back call.
Discretion would have been the better part of valor there. That rebound you just got to let go instead of picking up the foul.
Smith sets the pick for Berea. Powell with the screen. Doubled by Murray. Lets the three fly. San Antonio with the rebound. Aldridge has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Back to Murray. Leonard attacking, and it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Leonard.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Dallas leading by 15. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. No one near Smith as he lets it go. Smith missing again. Here's Anderson. Out of bounds. Dallas will take possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
For Dallas, they've gone 0 of 3 to start the fourth quarter. Anderson against Smith. To the inside. And it's Barnes slamming it down.
You know, Barnes is a versatile scoring forward. We've seen him heat up quickly, and he's capable of doing that. And, you know, Kevin, this team is struggling a bit right now. I mean, I hope he can find his rhythm and start making his shots out there soon. Otherwise, ...
Out to Smith. Fires from the wing. Fresh 24 for Dallas. Powell, that's good.
Boy, intensity always a good thing, and Powell brings it solid at getting after offensive rebounds for his team.
10 over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact, straightforward call, simple.
Manu Ginobili's checked in for San Antonio. Wesley Matthews checked in for the Mavericks. And referee play review is something that is still relatively new in the NBA. Clark, do you think it should be expanded?
I think we should continue to modify and refine it and be careful to not look to overdo it. But we also want to make sure we're using it productively and prudently. So modify it, refine it, evaluate it each year, and try to make really good use of it in the areas where it can be most effective in enhancing the calls that are made in the game.
Kicks it out to Ginobili. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 4 assists now tonight.
He could have forced a tough inside shot, but made a terrific kick out to find the open jumper instead.
Anderson passes to Aldridge. He gets that one.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Smith outside. Over Anderson. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. And the Mavericks lead by 14.
Smith very crafty at finding ways to get room for that mid-range shot. He's got an awesome in-between game.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
With a step back, the shot, no good. Good D by Gasol.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Leonard, no luck. Mavericks leading by 12. And Matthews kicks to Powell. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Powell's got 4 points in the quarter.
Boy, he does a nice job, Kevin, keeping the ball high inside when his shot is being challenged, and for that, you've got to give Powell credit.
And Dwight Powell played all 4 seasons at Stanford for the Cardinal, still filling out his frame.
He is, and you know, the knock on Powell was that he wasn't tough enough to battle inside at this level. But guy is a worker, basically sleeping in the gym, and with his length and athleticism, he's starting to figure it out.
Merlin's Noel checks in for Powell. Spurs trail by 13. Kicks it out to Ginobili. Shoots a 3. Kept alive and stolen by Nowitzki. Barnes against Leonard. Now Barnes. Noel in the corner. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Boy, that was a lot of muscle there from Noel. just fighting his way to the basket despite obvious contact on the play.
Aldridge banked in off the glass.
That was just a perfect possession, getting it in tight for the high percentage shot.
Mavericks leading by 13. There's a screen by Noel. Smith inside. He's against Anderson. Nowitzki, no good. For San Antonio, they've gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. Anderson against Smith. And the Spurs scoring again.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
The shot, no good. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way.
They've been the better rebounding team by a healthy margin, but it hasn't been enough.
Yeah, you know, they're hustling and giving a good effort, that's for sure. But unfortunately, the execution has been lacking.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
J.J. Barea checked in for Dallas.
And LaMarcus Aldridge really possesses tremendous shooting touch when you consider this guy's basically a 7-footer, and he's increasing that range. Last season, up over 40% from 3.
Barea dishes to Noel. Matthews against Green. From 15 feet away, and good. He got the English that time as it falls. And that's now 8 points for Wesley Matthews. And Aldridge doesn't shoot a ton of threes, yet he still earns his keep in that mid-range.
Yeah, on that left block, back to the basket. And with his size, that turnaround Jay is just about unstoppable.
Noel sets a screen for Barea. It's stolen by Green. And oh, here we go with Green. Nobody back. Finished off the break.
Really good ball movement there in transition.
Mavericks leading by 7. Stolen by Anderson. In transition, here come the Spurs. Green with the ball. Count that one.
Despite the troubles he had in the first half, he stayed composed and focused, and now he's getting it going.
Barea against Anderson. Noel sets a screen for Barea. A 3-ball. Second chance shot, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And when it comes to the paint, Noel owns it. I mean, really takes on any defender head on, and as a result, gets a lot of foul calls because of his aggressiveness.
And the Spurs making a change here. Gay's checked in. Both free throws good from Noel. Spurs trail by 7. Here's Anderson, and the layup falls. Anderson's got 32 points in the game.
Yeah, nothing too fancy, just getting the job done when they need to. Make every possession count.
And it's Barnes slamming it down.
Fantastic as an athlete is Barnes, and he attacks the rim off the drive. Man, I love the way he goes with force.
I tell you what, I don't know what he did in the locker room, but he needs to do a little bit more of it because he's on fire.
Barea, the pass to Barnes. There's a screen. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to be on Rudy Gay.
Determination is a valuable attribute, and Barnes plays with determination, committed to at least getting the foul on the way up. Nice job.
So he gets them both, and it's a 7-point game.
Perfectly done at the stripe there. That brings their lead up to an even more comfortable level. Major
Dominance, and it comes so easily for him. Fantastic at getting to his spots on the floor.
Noel, a screen on Anderson. There's a screen by Noel. Barnes outside. Just 5 on the clock from 10 feet out, and the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Barnes has got 8 points in the quarter.
Hey, sometimes Barnes is just too quick and skilled on the block, and there's not much you can do to stop him.
Kicks it out to Leonard. Gay drops.
Oh!
and gotta respect the attitude there of Gay. If it's an important point in the game, he demands the ball.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Excellent work by the talented people in our production truck as well. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the official.
And that would have been a killer if he missed one of those, but he was rock solid. That trims the lead now to a 1-possession game.
Anderson against Barea. 3 from Matthews. It doesn't go for him. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way.
Now you need every basket you can get.
Greg, I think they're still alive here, but they better execute every trip down the floor from here on out. Boy, and just look at what Leonard is doing.
Dallas calls timeout, and now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
Green, he's checked in for Rudy Gay. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Rick Carlisle's huddle. He told them, look, fellas, this is what we're capable of when you come together as one. I knew you had it in you, just like I know we're going to come out on top. Finish this game.
Thank you, David. There's a screen by Noel. Here's Barea. It falls!
Hard not to commend the confidence of Barea. For a point guard, he's an excellent scorer, particularly inside.
San Antonio calls timeout. They're trailing by 2. 7 seconds left in the game. Guys, your thoughts?
You know what? You can go for the 3 to win or the 2 to tie. What's your choice in a situation like this?
Well, I don't think you set that decision in stone and anchor it in this timeout. You see how things play out. You're going to try to get a good, quick shot. And if it's a good 3 with a good shooter, let it fly. If it's something in the paint, then you take that. But it's about being a good, quick shot in this situation.
Dallas calls timeout. They're in front by 1. Just 4 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Out to the wing. Back to Barnes. So it's a narrow victory for the Mavericks, pulling out the W. They break the hearts of every fan.